Hi everyone, my name is Yuri. I'm Principal Tam at AWS, and today we have Anjali, who is also Technical Account Manager, and we are going to talk about new exciting features in KPI Dashboard. We are releasing KPI Dashboard version 2.0, and we are going to talk about what we added there and how to use it. Anjali, say a few words about yourself, and let's kick off the demo.
Hey, hi everyone. I'm Anjali. I'm based out of India and I'm technical account manager. I have been with AWS for 2 years now. And let's dive deep into what new features we have introduced in KPI and how it will help us.
Yeah. So KPI dashboard allows you to track your cost optimization KPIs and see where you staying in terms of progressing to your goals. And Anjali, please tell us which KPI goals we added in this release.
Sure. So, what we have while working with many customer, what we have seen is they are using multiple database engines, and few of the customer they want to be license free. So we know that in database there are two types of engines. One is open source that don't require any kind of license to be purchased, but there are engine which requires license to be purchased, which can be any bring your own license or a license included, which AWS provides you. So, what we have done is in KPI Tracker, we have introduced one KPI which is named as RDS Open Source Engine Goals. So here, what you can do is you can track the metric as in the goal of your open source engine, how many or your how much of the workload of your RDS is running on open source engine. And if you want to go license free, you can easily use this metric to track how much of your target is still remaining to achieve this. So if you see here, our KPI, it is showing us green. That means in set KPI goals, how much of the metric or how much of the percentage of the workload that we want to run on open source engine we have already achieved. So you can set your KPI goal. So currently what we have done here is we have set that we want to achieve 75% of our workload to be covered by open source engine, and the same from the KPI tracker we are able to track month on month basis.
Yeah, that's actually very great. And as you mentioned that it's something that you developed working with your customers because they were in progress of migration from license engines to open source ones. And that's why we want to bring it to all AWS customers because I think many customers are in the same situations when they want to optimize cost on this. Okay, let's move on. So together with new KPIs, we also added a lot of things to visualize and give you more details to understand what actually you can do to contribute towards this goal. So first thing is metric summary tab, and tell us what is there.
So in matrix summary tab, earlier what was happening was in other Graviton, you were able to track your RDS Graviton adoption. So with inclusion of this RDS open source goal, so we have one dedicated metric for RDS. What you can do is you can just analyze the metric of how much of your RDS coverage is on Oracle engine. And when we see this metric is based on cost. So if you see here, we have three coverage here covered. One is RDS Oracle coverage, one is RDS SQL Server coverage, and the other one is overall open source engines which do not require license. Also, RDS Graviton coverage is something that you can track easily here. And if you match this with your set KPI tracker, you will see earlier we were having an open source coverage of 98%, and same metric summary you can visualize here.
Great. Yeah, and also what you mentioned here is that we actually extracting RDS to a separate tab. So before RDS was under other Graviton tab because we had metrics related to RDS and goals related to RDS migration to Graviton type of processors. But now we have more KPIs and more metrics and dimensions to visualize. So now, as you can see, we have new tab, which is called RDS, and there are a lot of details which you can find there actually to find cost optimization opportunities with the new KPIs which we introduced.
Yes, exactly, Yuri. So, what we have done is earlier for the RDS, what was the graviton potential saving with respect to processor? It was available in other graviton. So now it is dedicatedly available in this RDS graviton RDS tab. And if you see here, we have the first section which is dedicated completely to graviton. So it is the same information that customer was getting earlier in other graviton, and they have all this information. Just one point here, so it doesn't cover Oracle and SQL Server because those engines are not supported by Graviton. But if we move below, so what's the new information that we are adding into this RDS tab is, if I scroll down, so there's one section after the Graviton which is saying potential savings by migrating RDS engine, both Oracle and SQL Server, to open source engine. So in KPI tracker, we were just tracking how much of our workload is currently running on open source engine. But here we are also giving customer information, what will be the potential saving if they move to license free open source engines, so both on monthly basis and annual basis. So these are something they can easily track. And we have additional graphs as well which gives information of what top 10 accounts the spend on Oracle and SQL Server is. Customers can play around if they just want to focus on Oracle engines or just want to focus on SQL Server engines. So that feasibility is also being provided in this dashboard. And if we scroll down, we are also providing a list of complete existing inventory of RDS resources running on Oracle and SQL Server, and corresponding to each resources, what will be the potential saving.
Great, great. So we allow customers to go from top level visibility of potential savings overall per account and entire organization on monthly basis, which allows to see a context, right? So you can compare yourself to yourself previous months, which allows you to understand, okay, your new workloads, whether they actually comply with your goal of running on open source engines. And then we provide detail level granularity. Yeah, so like your
Yeah.
engineers could actually understand what should be migrated, what should be moved, and FinOps practitioners can also see on high level picture which resources, which accounts they belong to. Great. Yeah. So anything else you want to add before we conclude?
No, just that hope customer finds it interesting. This helps them to take appropriate decisions when they are moving on more to DB freedom program, where they don't want to rely just on licenses, be move more toward open sources.
Great. Thank you so much for contributing to this release of KPI Dashboard. Amazing work. And I really want to make a call for action for every customer to update to new version of KPI Dashboard, this version 2.0. So we are changing underlying views and data sets. So we will provide you a command line parameters how to update in release notes, but generally try new version and see if you can optimize your cost by migrating to open source RDS engines. Thanks for joining today, and happy cost optimizations for everyone.
Hey, thank you, everyone.